Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Contest of Champions. And before we get into any of the raw footage that we have, I just want to take a minute to say that none of this would be possible. We wouldn't be able to review this, we wouldn't be able to go over any of it if it wasn't for the efforts of Marvel Contest of Champions mods, MCOC mod. He puts out these great videos all the time, letting us know what's coming, what's in store, and we get a really good preview look at all of the new champions that are coming out, and we'll get into that. We get gameplay for two of the champions. It's absolutely awesome. His channel will be in the annotations above throughout the entirety of this whole video, because like I said, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have any of this stuff. And his link will also be in the description below. Guy has way more views, more subscribers than I do, so I guarantee that you guys have probably already seen this, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on some of the stuff, considering the guy doesn't really talk and everybody just wants to speculate and go on and on and on about what's wrong with these characters and blah 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 blah. And I'm going to tell you guys what's right about the characters. So let's get into it. First off, let's take a look at the champions themselves. So first off, we start with Beast. And now this is one that everybody had a lot of issues with. Nobody likes this Beast, and everybody's all up in arms. They're like, oh, he does kind of look like an abomination, just colored blue. But as far as Uncanny Beast goes, that's pretty much spot on. I really can't complain about it. He looks pretty spot on. There's no differences here. He's straight through and through Uncanny X-Man Beast. And I mean, really, your options, there were tons of options we could have went with Beast. Everybody wanted 90s Beast, 90s cartoon Beast, which is fine. Which we could have ended up with this Beast, or we could have ended up with this Beast, or we could have ended up with this one. Or we could have went all the way back to the very beginning of the comics, and we could have ended up with this Hairless Wonder. So I mean, really, it makes sense that we've got this one, because we've already got Magic and Storm, all versions from the Uncanny X-Men in the game. We get these all the time. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this Beast. It's Beast, plain and simple. It is just a different variation of Beast that most people aren't used to. So if you're not a comic book fan, you're not going to get it. You're just going to be like, oh, well, they just reskinned Abomination. But they really didn't. There are differences to these two characters. And despite the fact that he does have similarities that make him look like he is Abomination, he's not. He is Uncanny Beast. Through and through, to the T. That is Uncanny Beast. And like I said, it makes sense with the other Uncanny X-Men that we have in the game. So let's look at his signature abilities here. The Chain Combo, which is a passive while in freestyle combat. Now this is one thing I absolutely love too. There are two different styles of combat that he has. Same with Nightcrawler. Once we get to him, you'll see that that's something that's really different and unique to me that we haven't had before. Two different fight styles. We kind of get that with Spider-Gwen a little bit, but I mean, nobody really liked Spider-Gwen. But while in freestyle combat form, performing a medium hit followed by a light, and medium combo, inflicts direct damage per blow for up to 33.1% of your attack. And now this is a maxed out character as well, so keep that in mind. That 33.1% will change as your duplication changes. Based on signature level, successfully completing the combo increases the Beast's critical chance by 25% for 5 seconds, while in acrobatic combat form, blocking an attack followed by a medium light medium combo regenerates up to 1.8% of Beast's maximum health per move. Based on signature level, additionally, on combo success, opponents get 50% less power when getting hit and attacking for 5 seconds. When successfully performing a combo, there will be a 5-second delay before you can start a new combo. So it keeps you from spamming. That's always a good thing. His abilities, passive, kind of go over those in the top there. Get the freestyle and the acrobatic. Beast's thick hide makes him resistant to bleed effects, so we got another bleed resistant champion, decreasing their potency and duration by 65%. So he's not completely bleed immune, but he decreases the amount of health that you're going to lose from one and the duration of it by 65%. So that's not too bad. Special attacks, not really that big. We've got stun. We'll look at this once we. So he's got abilities: freestyle combat 5, acrobatic combat 5, bleed resistance, and stun 5. So overall, I like this beast. I think he looks pretty cool. Go into the combos here, and we'll actually get to look at the combo moves that he has here in a minute. His special attacks. So that's not too bad. And his synergy bonuses: a level 3 friend, 6% armor with Gambit, 7% crit rate with Iron Patriot, the Mutant Agenda, plus 12 special attack damage for all mutants between Nightcrawler and Colossus, and Masterminds, level 3. All champions gain 15% attack once a combo of 15 or more hit is reached. I am a little bit disappointed that he doesn't have some kind of synergy bonus with Magic or Storm. I didn't see Storm in there either, so that's a little bit disappointing to me, because those are all people that he is actually in the Uncanny X-Men with, and that's what this version is. So it's a little bit disappointing, but overall he looks really good. We get a new mastery point, our synergy bonus. We get a new synergy bonus out of this whole thing with him and the Mastermind, which comes into play a little bit later with Loki as well. Now we'll move on into Nightcrawler, and I know there's been a lot of controversy around Nightcrawler as well with the whole cutlass that he's packing around. But you got to think too that there was a portion in the 90s cartoon, and there was also portions, big portions of the comic books that he was in. His actual standalone first comics was him as a swashbuckler, and that's the kind of stuff we get here. Now, he looks really awesome. I mean, if you're into the 90s cartoon, this is kind of more closely resembles the 90s cartoon Nightcrawler as opposed to anything else. So that's really cool. And he has the abilities Evade, Precision, Bamf, and Bleed. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, Bamf? What is Bamf? I know you guys know what the abbreviation for Bamf is, B-A-M-F. If you don't, then I don't guess any of you have watched Pulp Fiction. But that is not what this Bamf means. Bamf was the pow, zap, zip thing that they would do in the comic books whenever Nightcrawler would poof. I mean, it's not a poof, it's a bamf. I don't know any other way. Whenever he would teleport, that's what would pop up in the comic books along with him in the strips, is bamf. So I think it's kind of cool that we get his third special as bamf, bamf, bamf. I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. I like the look of this Nightcrawler. I think he looks awesome. I'm really happy with it. I don't have any complaints about him or Beast, to be honest. From a comic book standpoint, no issues whatsoever. And we're going to take a look at his signature ability, Niflheim Heritage. Nightcrawler's unique heritage, coupled with his X-Men training, allows him to switch combat mode 0.3 seconds faster. Additionally, Anytime he strikes a deep wound, he gains 38% increased attack for 7 seconds. So I don't know. That one's not exactly, it doesn't seem like it's as good as Beast to me. His passives: by dodging back and holding block for 2 seconds, Nightcrawler can shift his tactics and switch his combat mode. When attacked while in Knife mode, Nightcrawler focuses on teleportation and dexterity, granting him a 22% chance to evade incoming attacks. The chance to evade attacks is increased by 15% against attacks that would deal physical damage. While in Swashbuckling mode, that goes back to the whole deal. I'd say he'll probably, if they're smart about it, they'll switch him back and forth between having the Cutlass and not having the Cutlass. While in Swashbuckling mode, Nightcrawler focuses on aggression and quick attack burst. This grants him periodic precision buffs, increasing critical hit chance by 25% for 4 seconds. While dodging back, Nightcrawler cannot be struck by attacks. Additionally, whenever he successfully evades an attack, he gains 40% critical damage until his next critical hit. So that's pretty cool. Critical hits: Nightcrawler's Cutlass has a 70% chance to strike a deep wound, dealing 53% of his attack as bleed damage instantly. The chance to score a deep wound increases by up to 10% based on how low the opponent's armor is. And then it goes into his special attacks. And his special attack too, this is a really good one right here. This will absolutely be a killer for perfect block teams. This attack reduces enemy block proficiency by 44% while in Knife in mode. 44%. It means you're not going to have perfect block. So this could potentially be a boss or a sub-boss, kind of like Spider-Man's supposed to be in Map 6 in the future. I mean, if Kabam's smart about it, if they're wanting to make things more difficult for people that bring in perfect block teams, then either scattering Nightcrawler throughout the entirety of the map or making him a mini-boss or a main boss would actually be pretty smart. Because that would definitely combat perfect block. And other than that, everything else looks kind of similar. We get a look at his special attacks / Bamf kick. So we're going to get it's going to be a swap. Poof. Kick. I kind of like that one. That's the perfect explanation for what it is. And then the Bamf. He's coming in from every direction. So, I mean, obviously he's going to be zapping in. We'll get a look at those here in a minute, though. Get a look at all those. Now, he has a 6% armor buff with Beast, a 7% crit rate with Juggernaut, a 5% perfect block chance with 90s and Uncanny X-Men, or X-Force rather, X-Force Cyclops, and a 25% critical damage with X-23. Now we're going to be moving on into Gambit. Now, I hate to say it, but we'll get into it here in a minute. Gambit's abilities: he has anti-up, stun, and concussion. So those are kind of neat. We'll take a look at those. His signature ability is Raging Cajun, and his special attacks are Card Shark, Bio Beatdown, and Royal Flush. Those are what we're going to get into here in a minute. But first off, we're going to be taking a look at. I got to point out too that the textures on this are completely not finished. This is not a finished character because he absolutely looks like he was meant to have a little bit more of a badonkadonk in some junk in the trunk there, with the way that cape's flowing out backwards, or his overcoat, trench coat. Now, signature ability: Gambit maintains 25% of his kinetic energy whenever he busts. Additionally, his prowess buffs also grant him 7.6% increased critical damage each. So I mean, as far as that goes, his signature ability doesn't look like it's the best in the world. Blocking. Gambit charges his weapon while holding block, gaining a kinetic energy for every 0.5 seconds he isn't attacked. Whenever Gambit is struck by a combo-ending attack, he has a 50% chance to bust and lose all his kinetic energies, or kinetic charges. So that is definitely not good. The rest of it's kind of just mediocre stuff. We actually have nothing in the special attacks, which goes to show that this is absolutely not a finished product yet. And we'll see that more with the other ones as we get to them. And this is where I start to have issue with everything. The special attacks. Let's just take a moment here. Card Shark. With a little sleight of hand, the Raging Cajun sends a hidden flying ace. Or a hidden ace flying. Special move number 2. Supercharged Staff strikes from the back alleys of New Orleans. Royal Flush. With quick movements, Gambit lets fly a perfect hand. Au revoir. So he has a synergy bonus with X23, 60, I wish 60. 6% armor, 7% crit with Magneto OG, and a 5% perfect block chance with Beast and Nightcrawler. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to work our way into the next champion, Jean Grey, who we absolutely have no information on whatsoever. I will say though, I am a little bit... I don't see how people can actually say that Beast looks awful and then be overly surprised that, you know, the Phoenix Force version of Jean Grey is going to go over that well, because really this absolutely looks nothing like the Jean Grey that any of you guys would know. I mean, it's not even a 90s cartoon version Jean Grey. So I don't really get how there's not much topic surrounding her. But there's a lot of stuff surrounding how awful people think Beast looks. So, I don't know. To me, this Jean Grey just looks like a type of character that would belong in a Kick-Ass movie. Just the way it looks to me. That's exactly what she looks like. So we'll move on into Wolverine Weapon X. And there's not a lot of information here that we know about Wolverine as well in the Weapon X form, other than the fact that I feel like my prediction was absolutely correct, in that we are going to be getting the best of Old Man Logan and the best of Wolverine from the looks of it, with his regeneration and his bleed. And he also has the Berserker Rage as his signature ability. So let's get into that and look at those. His Berserker Rage. A wild animal-like rage envelops the Wolverine, suspending regeneration for 0% increased attack during special attacks. So that's obviously going to change. It's not going to stay 0%. That's going to fluctuate with the level that he has. But that brings in the rage factor that we get from Old Man Logan. Critical hits lacerate opponents with a 100% chance inflicting bleed damage for 102% of your attack over 2 seconds. And his passive 100% chance to regenerate 14% health over a period of seconds, which will fluctuate. All this stuff in the green, it will fluctuate with your signature ability level. But that, to me, that just screams the same as Wolverine. He's going to have a much better regeneration than Old Man Logan, and we're going to get the same kind of ragey type stuff that we get from Old Man Logan. So it's really the best of both worlds put together. It's just the way it is. I think that he will be the better of all the Wolverines. We'll see when he comes out. I don't particularly think we needed another Wolverine character in the game, but you know, this is what we got. And now we're going to move into the very last character, Loki, which is another character that everyone is kind of up in arms about, because this is the version of Loki that everyone wanted. But then they forget that we could have got these. We could have had one of these, which would have, they're the same character, but I mean it's the original suit that Loki wore. Or we could have got Tata's Loki, but instead we got Agents of Asgard Loki. And as far as that goes, this is almost a complete, perfect to a T version of Agent of Asgard Loki. Period. It's spot on. If you're not into those kind of comic books, or you haven't read those comic books or seen this character within the past year or so in that comic, you're not going to get it. It's just the way it is. There are so many different avenues and facets that these characters can be pulled from, that you can't just expect Kabam to go out and grab the one that you're the most familiar with. This is a perfect, almost spot-on version of Agent of Asgard Loki, as you'll get, plain and simple. It is. It's absolutely perfect, all the way down to the boots, to the fingerless gloves. It looks just like him. The only thing I would say is that the horns on his crown are possibly just a little bit too long. I think they're a little bit shorter in the comic book version, but I mean this is what we get. So I'm not too sad about it, because this is a different version of Loki that I haven't seen in any other game. I do know that they do have him in Marvel Heroes, but I don't know. This is fine to me. I don't have an issue with this whatsoever. I'm cool with it. Agent of Asgard Loki is fine. The only thing that we do know about this character right now is his synergy bonuses. He has a 7% crit rate with Hulk, Red Hulk, and Jane Foster Thor. A 6% health with Thor. And the Mastermind with Magneto and Magneto Marvel now. So that does it on this portion. We will start off with Beast. So now he's got gameplay up here with with Beast going up against Red Hulk. And to me, whenever you get him in this little area here, I do not think that he looks anything like Abomination at this point whatsoever as far as the gameplay goes. And there we just saw the L1 attack take place, and he is going to be building up to his L2. So now here we have the L2. I like these two moves though. They are a little bit different, a little bit more unique. I like that. I actually enjoy Beast's fighting style as well. So that's not to say anything bad about him. Honestly, he looks really good so far. I like the character, and we're working our way up to the L3 now. And here we go with the L3. So we get the we get the special from Red Hulk first, which we already know and we've seen, so that's going to get cut out. And here we go with the L3. So he misses. He actually misses. He's a little bit too early on being able to catch the bonus points, but I like it. It's not overly flashy. It's not exactly the best in the world. It's simple, it's clean, but it's Beast. I mean, it shows you that raw rage and aggression that you get from Beast. And honestly, I like it. I think it's really cool. So, alright, let's get into the next one. Let's get into Nightcrawler. So we start off, we've got Nightcrawler going up against Civil Warrior. And he is in Neophym mode. I like that. That's one thing that Rich wanted, too. That is one thing Rich wanted. He wanted that dash back to be a poof. And they actually got it in there. They actually got it in. That's pretty nice. The evade, you actually poof into a thing of smoke and you go out. So, Rich, I absolutely hope you're happy with that one, buddy. It looks amazing, to be honest. That is absolutely something new. Hopefully the scores in the arena won't be overly patched and overly saturated for Nightcrawler, because really he's not got a lot of awesome moves or special moves to him. There we had the special 1 attack. Let's check that out again. Check out that special. Let's check out the level 2 attack. That is our level 2 attack. Looks pretty sweet as well. Now let's check out the level 3, because I'm pretty sure that one's going to be intense. Nightcrawler is absolutely beastly looking, to say the least. Here is our level 3. I love how he throws the cutlass into the ground. Poofs, comes up behind him, and then he's just like poofing all over the place. He is just bamf, bamf, bamf. And then he pops right back up with the cutlass and swipes you with the cutlass again. So it's just really cool. I think he's an awesome looking character, plain and simple. I believe that a lot of people are going to be happy with this one, more so over than they were happy with Beast, as far as all that stuff goes. And we do end off with what Rich thought was the celebration, where he backflips, throws the cutlass into the ground, and poofs away, and that's exactly what that was. That was the end sequence. But there's a lot of little details in that video that expand even further. Really looking forward to these characters moving forward. Really, really happy that MCOC has not been shut down for doing these kind of videos, because technically Kabam could literally shut him down for all of this stuff. But thankfully they haven't. We get little previews like this. Alright guys, so in the interest of keeping you guys updated, MCOC actually uploaded videos of gameplay for Weapon X Wolverine, Loki, Jean Grey, and Gambit while I was in the process of rendering this video. So that's why we don't have any face cam currently, but I went ahead and stopped the render, grabbed those videos, pulled out key elements for you guys. Obviously Weapon X Wolverine is an absolute clone of Wolverine, so I only gave you guys the special moves for him, but I did give you guys some gameplay for Loki, Gambit, and for... Actually, I didn't give you anything for Jean Grey. As a matter of fact, I didn't put Jean Grey on here at all, come to think of it. It is almost 7 o'clock in the morning right now, so I didn't put Jean Grey in whatsoever, because Jean Grey, as far as I could see, was just a clone of Storm, kind of similar to how Jessica Jones was just a clone of Black Widow. So I don't feel like it added any kind of extra special stuff to this character for you guys. I'm not going to put that up there just to lengthen the video at this point, but hopefully you guys enjoy these snippets and these special moves and the slowed down sections of these characters. They absolutely look awesome. Right now we're on Loki. Loki looks absolutely boss. I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love the gameplay for this character right now. I love the gameplay for Gambit. I was completely and totally wrong about Gambit. They are different moves. It's great. It's something spectacular and awesome to look forward to with this game, and I am absolutely looking forward to it moving forward. But that's it for this little special snippet. I will catch you guys at the very end in the outro. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in there and watching this one. I know it's really long, but we went into details a lot here. But that's going to be it for this episode. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.
I'm sipping coffee from a paper cup, lying down